most helpful book ever published will teach everyone how nature creates people's personalities, including adherence associated with personality. What is the meaning of adherence? Well, simply put, this is nature's way of limiting our toil. It is the level of persistency to stick with something. How long can a person perform something before they quit? These observations form a pattern among the different personalities, tending to repeat, and are profoundly noticed in people's personality. You see, nature is known to be associated with adherence in many walks of life, and not only in personality but in other areas of life. For example, to name some, such as in weather like hurricanes or tornadoes, or any natural occurrence needing certain strong levels of adherence to exist by nature. People's personalities are no exception. These adherence tendencies are permanent, natural occurring, showing up in different levels among personalities. While you can only observe them, they never vanish. Yes, this occurs even in personalities. Adherence, which anyone can observe for himself or herself, occur most often enough to consider them reliable trends. The most helpful book ever published will identify adherence for you found in different personalities you will read about, giving you the advantage of understanding the adherence patterns of people. When you learn about the adherence patterns of people's personalities, you will be able to predict how a person is most likely to function in their life. To know how persistent they are at achieving their goals. So what are these adherence patterns? You will realize that some people tend to stick with their goals longer than others do, not because they are lazy or quitters, but because they appear to have a natural tendency to stick with something more or less. This is a result of nature's limits observed in different personalities. You will begin to recognize the three different levels of adherence, being high, medium, and low, within the different personalities of people. This will result in a better understanding of why some people can be more persistent than others can. Once you are aware of the levels of adherence limitations, you can counteract them, and help others to counteract them, giving you the advantage of perfecting your life. For example, in one group of people with similar birth date ranges, it was consistently found that one person in the group had a higher adherence level in pursuing goals all the time. This resulted in a higher fulfillment in the most meaningful way. There was increased improvement by reaching out for multiple numbers of goals. The high adherence level experienced brought on tremendous happiness, and this was important to discover. You have to know what makes you happy in life. The most difficult part was uncovering the level of what their adherence would be. The problem was recognizing or pinpointing the fact that this higher level of adherence existed. You see, once you are aware of your level of adherence, especially about the adherence level you have yourself, you can embrace it, and help others to discover it as well, giving you the advantage of perfecting your life. To really discover what makes a person pursue goals. Remember this, there is one observation that was found for sure: no matter whom you are, everyone has a level of adherence. This is a reality in life that nobody can escape. The most helpful book ever published will help everyone to recognize the different levels of adherence patterns which linger among people's personalities. This will result in a better understanding of what makes people stronger or weaker at pursuing their goals in life, especially yourself. So why does everybody have these adherence patterns? Thank goodness they exist in personality. However, if you observe everyone more closely, even through the generations, you will notice a recurring adherence pattern that is similar to everyone belonging to a certain birth date range that never goes away. The adherence patterns found among the different personalities are very special to bring us a better understanding of each other. So how can this great work of literature help everyone to learn more about people's personalities? The core or body of this exciting material contains 8 chapters which describe and uncover the unique ways of how nature shapes us in a special way that improves your comprehension of understanding personalities to the point that you really can read people like a book, and in a way like never before. This means you will understand why people act and behave the way they do with their unique habits, all shaped by nature. You will learn about nature's personality factory that creates personalities similar to how an auto factory creates cars. 10 years went into writing this informative material. The official copyright was established and recorded in the United States in the year 2022. This is a very rare original work that can't be found anywhere else. The most helpful book ever published sets an example with the goal and desire to present a great work of quality material in a newly discovered science from the publishing industry to help others gain better health, wealth, and knowledge for a terrific future. This is a rare work that can't be found anywhere else. If you have a hobby or are a professional book collector or are thinking about starting a book collection, you can add value to your collection by collecting this first signature edition offered here. You don't have to read the whole book ever because you will only be reading the sections which pertain to you, as this will be explained with very easy comprehension to see that you won't be reading with much labor at all with mostly short readings. You only read what you need. This rare work of literature was written with the following strict guidelines which were more difficult than any doctor program at any university. First, it must be a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched. Second, it must be non-fiction. Third, it must receive an official registration of copyright by the United States government. This book is certainly very informative, and you will learn fascinating concepts to understand people better. This means no more struggling in your life trying to guess what you are good at, who your best companion is, or what career you are cut out for. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. P.S. Thomas W. Anti searches on Google and Yahoo quickly finds you, the most helpful book ever published.